Hello students of class 8th. I hope you all are fine and safe. Today we will start our first chapter of geography, that is representation of geographical features. Let's get started. The topographical sheet or topo sheet. So topographical sheets are also known as topo sheets are the large scale maps. They are the large scale maps which are prepared by the Survey of India after carrying out the detailed actual survey. The details on such topographical sheets include the landforms, land use, drainage and settlement patterns, means of transport, social and cultural features. Okay. Now these sheets are divided into three main groups. What are they? First is million sheet, second is quarter sheet, and third is quadrant sheet. Let us study about million sheet first. The million sheet shows an area which extends for about 4 degree of latitude and 4 degree of longitude. Our country is divided into 36 such sheets. The scale of the million sheet is 1 centimeter is to 10 kilometers. So on the map it is 1 centimeter and on the ground it represents 10 kilometers. So the one scale is 1 centimeter is to 10 kilometer. Okay. The quarter sheet shows an area which extends for about 1 degree of latitude and 1 degree of longitude. These are also called the degree sheets. So quarter sheets are also known as degree sheets. The scale of the quarter sheet is 1 centimeter is to 2.5 kilometer. Okay. The next is quadrant sheet. Quadrant sheet shows an area which extends for about 15 feet of latitude to the 15 feet of longitude. The scale of the quadrant sheet is 2 centimeter is to 1 kilometer. So on the map it is 2 centimeter and on the actual ground it is 1 kilometer. The distance between the point is, these are the distance between the 2 points. Okay. Now the basic elements of topographic sheets. First is title. The title indicates the main subject of the map. Second is the scale shows the ratio between the map distance and the ground distance. The grid system is formed by the parallels and the meridians. Now the conventional signs and symbols are used to represent the physical features, means of transport, settlements, cultural features, etc. A key or index or legend is helpful in finding the meanings of various signs and symbols used on the topo sheet. Now the grid system on the topo sheet. The network of parallel and meridians drawn on a map or on a topo sheet is called the grid of the map. So it is the network of parallel and meridian which are drawn on the map or on topo sheet. On the large scale map, the difference in the value of parallel and meridian is very small. It is difficult to calculate the exact latitude and longitude of a place. Thus an arbitrary grid has been drawn on topo sheets to solve the problem. It has the set of vertical and horizontal lines. So arbitrary grid has a set of vertical and horizontal line drawn in red color. Now let us study about the features of arbitrary grid. The southwest corner of the arbitrary grid is the starting point. As you can see here, the southwest corner is the starting point. The vertical lines are called easting. The vertical lines are known as easting. This is the eastings. Okay. The horizontal lines are called the northings. These are the northings. And in the center it is the grid square. Let us study about the grid square. The eastings and the northings form a network of squares called the grid squares. The easting and the northings are at the fixed distance of 2 centimeter each, which is 1 kilometer of the ground. So they are at the fixed distance of the 2 centimeter each, which is at the 1 kilometer of the ground. Okay. The eastings and the northings are numbered as 00, 01, 02 up to 99. The numbers increased eastwards and the northwards from the southwest corner of the grid on the topo sheet. While writing the coordinates or location of a given place, the eastings are written first and then the northings. Now the counters in the topo sheet. The most popular technique to show the relief feature on a topo sheet is with the help of counters. Counters are the lines drawn in brown color. The difference in the value of two adjacent counter is called the counter interval. Now the horizontal distance between the two adjacent counter depends on the slope of the land and is called the horizontal equivalent. This is the horizontal equivalent. Okay. All counters are marked with the number which shows the height above the mean sea level. Normally the counters do not cross each other. Now the identification of landforms through counters. The counters on the topo sheet shows two distinct features. These are height of the land above the sea level and slope of the land in relief features. The distance between any two adjacent counters can help us to learn about the slope of land. Many types of slope have been identified, such as steep, gentle, uniform, concave, convex, vertical, etc. But in this chapter we will learn about the steep slope and the gentle slope. Now the steep slope on the topo sheet is shown with the help of closely spaced contours or when the horizontal equivalent is very small. You can see the steep slope is here. The gentle slope on the topo sheet is shown with the help of widely spaced contours or when the horizontal equivalent is very large. On a topo sheet we can easily identify a large variety of relief features such as hills, plateaus, ridges, escarpments, gaps, saddles, col, passes, waterfalls, V-shaped valley, U-shaped valley, volcanoes, etc. Some of them are explained below. Okay. A hill is shown on the topo sheet with the help of nearly concentric circles. So you can see this is the figure of conical hill. This is a concentric circle. What is a concentric circle? Circle with the same centers. Okay, this is the figure of concentric circle of a hill. Next is plateau. A plateau is also a hill feature, but its top is flat. It rises upwards and the surrounding area and has a steep slope. You can see a plateau, figure of a plateau in this figure point 1.7. This is the figure of a plateau. The next is ridge is an elongated hill whose breadth is less. This is the figure of a ridge whose breadth is less. You can see the breadth is very less here. A saddle, also called a col, consists of two hills which are separated by a gap. So a col is a gap between any two peaks of the mountain. Okay. Now the settlement patterns. Any place where people live and work to earn for their family is called settlement. So the people where live and work for their work to earn and live is called a settlements. Okay. Now settlements are broadly characterized into two parts. First is temporary and second is permanent. A temporary settlement is built for a specific purpose and is occupied for a short time. Such settlements may develop in the forested area, hot and cold desert, or in the mountainous area. On a topo sheet, a temporary settlement is shown by the hollow square in red color. Now about the permanent settlement. A permanent settlement grows over a long period of time where most of the families live and work permanently. On a topo sheet, a permanent settlement is shown by the solid square in red color. Okay. Now these settlements are further characterized into following groups. First is nucleated, second is dispersed, and third is linear settlement. First is nucleated settlement. It has a compact pattern and a large number of houses are built close to each other. Okay. Such settlements are mostly found in fertile lowlands, river valley, coastal areas, mining and industrial centers, marketing and transport centers, etc. You can see this in this figure, first one. This is a figure of a nucleated settlement. The houses are built close to each other. Okay. Now the next is dispersed settlement. It is also called the scattered settlement, and it is characterized by isolated residential houses over a large area. This is found mostly in the sparsely populated area. Now this you can see in this figure, dispersed settlement. Houses are built far from each other. Okay. Now the third is linear settlement. In this type of settlements, houses and other buildings are mostly built along the local roads, canals, rivers or railway lines. So you can see the houses are built along the road and the railway lines here. Now this is the sign and symbol given by the Survey of India. You can go through it from the PDF file given to you. Now let us study about the interpretation and the analysis of topo sheet. To interpret and analyze the information given in the topo sheet, one must be fully acquainted with sign, symbols and colors used in the topo sheet. The sign and the symbols are given in a key on each topo sheet. One can easily read and understand them. The interpretation and analysis of the topo sheet can be done under the following heading. First is marginal information. So what does the marginal information carries? Name of the topo sheet, number of the topo sheet, latitudinal and longitudinal extent, eastings and northings, scale of the topo sheet, contour interval, area covered in square kilometer, direction of true north. Now the next is relief feature. It includes the identification of relief feature with the help of contour, the drainage pattern and other prominent water bodies. Natural vegetation and other economic activities, the distribution and location of forested area, probable land use of farming and possibility of other economic activities such as mining, lumbering, livestock raising, etc. are included in this category. Now the fourth is settlements of means of transport. The means of transport and communication includes footpath, tracks, roads, railway, post offices, etc. This also includes the relationship between transport and the future growth of the area. Now this is the example, and it is given a brief interpretation of the topographical sheet number 45D/7. You can go through it from the PDF given to you. Now I want you all to go through this video again and read the whole chapter properly given to you in a PDF format, and after that write the hard words, exercises and the question answers in your geography copy. Thank you.